This episode of the Pu'u Muay Thai podcast is brought to you by pmtlifestyle.com, Authentic Muay Thai Lifestyle by Pu'u. Definitely go check out the website at pmtlifestyle.com for some awesome lifestyle merchandise. That's for those of you out there either involved in Muay Thai, looking at getting involved in Muay Thai, and embrace a healthier lifestyle to live the life of Nak Muay. Go check it out.
I like Muay Thai because it gives me self-confidence and it brings the community together.
Yeah. Awesome. And then what are your words for Crew Dan?
Swadee Ka, Kapku Ka, Crew Dan.
Hey. Swadee Kap, this is Jonathan from Pu'u Muay Thai. Just wanted to say hello to everybody. Today is Thursday, April 28th. Just starting to feel back a little bit normal as of like last night. Still a little bit under the weather, but I'm bouncing back. I'm feeling like my energy level's coming back and stuff too. So starting to normalize after that first quarter was a bit insane work for me, like professionally and personally and stuff too. So happy to get back on the road and continue on growing Pu'u Muay Thai. We added in a new class in Santa Barbara, Pu'u Muay Thai Santa Barbara. It's on Wednesdays, 6:45, yellow shirt and above class. So it's starting to expand some of the scheduling in Santa Barbara, which is awesome, along with the boxing program we got going on there too with Coach Christian. And just seeing that continue on growing and blossoming and turning it into its own thing is really awesome to see. Kind of going up into this weekend. This weekend in Ventura, we have our leadership team training. So our leadership team training, if you guys heard, we had Mr. Rico Steele and DH out from Junction City, Kansas, a couple episodes back. They're out here to learn about like our leadership program and how they can implement that into their programs and stuff too. So it is something that we do currently for our students for very minimal cost, for students to be able to get started in this, because we want this to be accessible. That way we set you guys up for success as long-term martial artists, and as you continue to grow through Muay Thai, because it opens up so many more opportunities as you continue to go. Most people, by the time they've been training like 6-8 months, they usually have a different goal in mind. Typically, if they're training with us that long, they'll kind of open their eyes to what they kind of stepped into, the world they stepped into. So it's really awesome to see that kind of continue to grow and flourish, and I'm really looking forward to working with our students this Saturday down at Pu'u Muay Thai in Ventura. If you got the invite to it and you're always asking where I'm at, and that's where you're going to see me is that day. So if you're missing out on leadership, you're missing out on a training opportunity with me. All right, but and I've been meaning to be around the academy more in Ventura. Just been sick, so quarantining myself, doing minimal what I got to do to keep the ship moving, I guess you could say, and doing what I can to make sure we keep the boat moving forward. It's only 1% every single day, just like we tell you guys when you're in training. If you are training from a different academy, that's like a mindset thing we always try to talk to our students about is, hey, as long as you got 1% better today, that's progress, right? It comes into stuff like, I'll harp on people. They show up early to class, and then they kind of just sit there and sit on their hands, right? But it's like, hey, if you have an extra minute, why don't you shadow box for an extra minute? It doesn't seem like a lot right now, but as you go over the course of 2-3 years, that 1 minute extra every time you shadow box adds up over time. So it really turns into just more overall experience into that. Also, in other news, kind of moving forward, there's some really exciting news that's in regards to the growth of Muay Thai and just combat sports in general. So I think it was just yesterday on the 27th, it was announced that One Championship, yes, One FC, has signed a 5-year exclusivity deal with Amazon Prime Video. So shout out to Chatri Sityotong for getting that, he's the CEO of One, for getting that deal written out with the the evil that is Jeff Bezos and Amazon. He was able to pull that off. And I want you guys to think about this. So I've talked about it here a couple times before too, is that one championship hasn't made its way into the U.S. because their rules don't necessarily coincide in their MMA rule set with the unified rules of MMA here in the United States. So, because they allow knees to the head of a grounded opponent. So, with that, they've met a lot of resistance from ABC, it's the American Boxing Council, and all the state athletic commissions, Andy Foster, all these people. They really don't want them to come because those people make a lot of money from the UFC having a stranglehold on mixed martial arts here in the United States. So on top of these other rule things too. So obviously we talked about one championship being this summer supposed to have their first event ever in Colorado, because the state athletic commission out there is allowing it to happen. They accepted their rule set, and of course they're getting a lot of blowback and stuff too, but it's super exciting to see that opportunity happen, because that's just going to allow more growth. And obviously we'll now have a one championship event that's not on at 2 a.m. or 5 a.m., whatever it is. So they're going to be doing, I think there's 12 events a year is what they're going to be doing on Amazon Prime Video. And I want you to think about this. So you have the UFC. They have the UFC Fight Pass that they broadcast on. Right? You have to download UFC Fight Pass, get a subscription, all that stuff. And then when you go over to Amazon, is most people have Amazon Prime subscriptions, so they already have access to this, right? I don't know if they're going to be doing like pay-per-view events or what the deal is, if you have to pay extra for it. But regardless, you still have to pay extra for UFC Fight Pass, and you have to pay for the pay-per-view events as well. But here's the thing with Amazon Prime, is it usually comes pre-installed on smart devices. It's already installed in there. It's on your home screen, right? So on like Android phones, on smart TVs, Roku, stuff like that, it usually already has Amazon Prime TV installed onto it. So the accessibility is there. It's like, hey, you go to channel 3 and you go turn on the fights, right? So it's a really exciting opportunity, and I really think they're going to grab a lot of that market share here in North America with that partnership, because it's just going to be ultimately more accessible is the word I was looking for. More accessible for people here in the United States to be able to watch ONE FC, which has MMA, kickboxing, and Muay Thai, and high-level Muay Thai and high-level kickboxing. The MMA is getting there. They have some of the people signed that are from the UFC that are high level that the UFC dropped because they couldn't perform at the highest level of the UFC, right? So they drop them. ONE FC's been buying them out one by one as they drop their contracts. So it'll be interesting to see what happens over the next 5 to 8 years. I made a prediction I put out on TikTok that, we're seeing it already kind of, is there's trends in mixed martial arts, right? So we saw people who were predominantly jiu-jitsu based dominating for a while. And then everybody started learning jiu-jitsu. Then it was like, okay, the people who have some basic boxing or basic Muay Thai, like some basic striking, they start doing well when they mix it with their jiu-jitsu. Okay, so then you get people doing that. Oh, then you get people who are strong wrestlers on top of it. All right? So, and the reality is, it's like, when people started training, what did they train first? All right, what did they become most proficient in first? Right now it's people who are high-level wrestlers, and they're going in and learning jiu-jitsu or like basic striking, and they're going into dominating, right? So it'll be interesting to see as more people start developing and getting opportunities to perform at a high level in Muay Thai through promotions like ONE FC, and can build into mixed martial arts over the next 5 to 8 years. So you see it with Shevchenko, you're seeing it with Stamp Fairtex, you're seeing it with the Joanna Jędrzejczyk over in UFC, as well as Valentina Shevchenko in UFC. You're going to see it more and more. It's funny, there's a lot of I got a lot of hate for calling this. People are like, oh no, there's no champions. It's like, oh, do you know there's champions that are not just men, right? So it's funny, and some people just have so much hate towards it. They're like, I don't understand it. But it just shows you, like, from a professional point of view, I see this becoming more and more of a trend. I'm just calling it now. I could be totally freaking wrong, by the way, and I accept that. If I'm wrong, I'll say, hey, you know what, I'm wrong. And I honestly, I'm not a mixed martial arts expert by any means, but it's just a trend that I'm seeing more and more of of mixed martial artists wanting to train with high-level Muay Thai trainers, and being, like, when I say high level, I don't mean somebody who's like a TBA champion or something like that, or IKF champion, like amateur champion. I'm talking about people who are performing at the highest levels, the people who are fighting at Russia Dum Stadium, the people who are fighting on Thai TV and fighting on the big promotions in China and Japan and Central and South America. Those people, all right? And there's not a lot of them because they don't get paid a lot of money. So they don't develop. They just go straight into MMA. And they say, oh, I train high-level Muay Thai. I got amateur belt. It's like, yeah, you know what? You just started dipping your toes into, like, I would say a higher-level amateur competition is the reality of it. So we're going to see more and more people, I feel, stepping in from a high-level Muay Thai perspective. I see, like I called this one before, as an ASET 10 pal, high-level Muay Thai fighter who's stepping into MMA now. And I'm telling you, like, give it, like, 5 years. There's a couple other people, too. I think it's Thomas Blackerby. I've been seeing him pop up more and more on TikTok. And I've been seeing more people from the Muay Thai community pop up on TikTok. But this kid, he's young. He's 18. Grew up doing Muay Thai, doing all the tournaments and stuff like that. He's been training at a high level, fought on Waco, like the kickboxing national team, all that stuff. So he, when I say high level, that's somebody who's trained at a high level, right? Been trained since he was a kid at a high level and competed a lot, a fuck ton in that. So it just like Asa Tenpao did. So these people are making this transition over to MMA because, they're kind of exhausted their resources for where they're at currently. And they want to be able to make an income, training and fighting. So I don't blame them. And they don't want to do boxing, which I also don't blame them because they had trauma, man. I saw a funny viral video where it was like somebody getting hit, and it's like when you start smiling in your fight because you realize you're getting paid over $1 million no matter what happens in the fight. It made me crack up. But anyways, that's something I'm really excited to see happen because it's going to make more opportunities for athletes here in North America through ONE FC being here. And they don't have to go over to Singapore to go compete. So I'm really excited to see that and see the opportunity with Amazon Prime because that's going to bring primetime bucks, pun fully intended. All right, you're going to see more and more money, and obviously with that deal, there's some kind of financial thing that's going in towards like promotion and fighters and stuff like that too. Not saying that Amazon treats their employees better or their contractors any better than UFC does, or one's worse than the other, but I think there's much more play in regards to financials that are going to be able to back what they're doing. As opposed to UFC, their income is just fighting, right? Amazon Prime TV has like everything. Sports, it's got movies, television series, it's got freaking Jeff Bezos money. So it'll be interesting to see how that continues to grow and develop, and see how that might build out into more Muay Thai being on Amazon Prime TV. All right, I would freaking love to see that, and that's actually giving me just ideas thinking about it too. This is the first time I've been able to actually sit down and have these kind of thoughts because I've just been totally spent mentally and physically. So with that said, guys, I'm going to get going. I got some more stuff going on today, but I hope you have a great day. Don't forget, if you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to leave a written review. And as so many people say, well, the podcast speaks for itself. I understand. But the thing is, other people who are looking, browsing around, they don't know that. So if you just put that in the comments, you say one thing, just write out a short description of why you like the podcast. It would mean the freaking world to me, okay? Shoot me a message on Instagram or something once you do it. I'll give you a heartfelt message on Instagram or some other form of social media. All right? I appreciate it. Have a great day.
All right, that's it today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys are listening on iTunes, please go leave a review. It means the world to me if you enjoy the content, if you like hearing about all stuff that has to do with Muay Thai and what we're doing.